This is Eagle Owl, and we got to talk about it. The how we do it again, but let's get straight into it. Jakorian Bennett. Jakorian Bennett has been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for Thomas Booker. Thomas Booker, Eagle fans, we love him, but it was time for him to go. So let me tell y'all why we traded Thomas Booker, or why I believe we traded Thomas Booker. And there's a guy on our roster named Gabe Hall. Gabe Hall is having one hell of a camp. Gabe Hall has a chance of actually making this team. Gabe Hall can play. He can ball. So that production, or that little production you was getting from Thomas Booker, you can get from Gabe Hall. And this is a good thing. This is a good thing for Thomas Booker. Thomas Booker leads the Philadelphia Eagles with this deep roster. We know Ty Robinson probably was going to get more snaps than him just because, where we drafted him. Then you got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Drummo emerging. So we was kind of deep at defensive tackle. Then again, you got the UDFA from a couple years ago who's emerging as well. And Thomas Booker was having a good camp, but he was trade bait. We got him to the Raiders, and now he could thrive there. They let go Christian Wilkins. He could be a really good rotational piece for the Raiders and do some damage there. Whereas though if he was with the Eagles, he was behind a lot of guys, more than likely would have made the team. But, he wouldn't have made that big impact that he could make with the Raiders. Now, let's talk about the Eagles. Let's talk about us, what we got in Jakorian Bennett. If I'm saying the first name right or wrong, let me know in the comments. But Jakorian Bennett, he was a guy that was drafted in the same draft class with Keely Ringo out of Maryland. He was actually drafted one spot ahead of Keely Ringo. So it was him, and then we drafted Keely Ringo. So and it looked like Vic Fangio, they're not too pleased with the cornerback battle because Vic Fangio did speak, and he was like, yeah, both of them doing good in camp. But he didn't sound too enthusiastic about it because both guys, they are middle of the pack. And I was actually, tomorrow, you guys will see my training camp video. And the problem with Keely Ringo is that he's undisciplined. And the one main problem with Keely Ringo is he's not turning his head. So he's causing a lot of defensive pass interference on the defensive side. And then Adoree Jackson constantly getting beat by twos. We're not talking about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. He's getting beat by Elijah Cooks. He's getting beat by Darius Cooper. Like, he's getting beat a lot. And while they make plays here and there, it's really no separation. So you bring in competition. You didn't bring in a vet. You didn't bring in like a Gilmore or maybe Asante Samuel Jr. You bring in a young, promising guy in Jakorian Bennett, a guy who's 5'11", 188, to me a bit lean, but he plays cornerback. He did run a 4.30, so he's very fast, and he could keep up with any wide receiver in this league. The problem with Bennett was that it's just the technical things, like just being a young raw talent. If Vic Fangio could get that, okay, staying disciplined, not trying to jump every route, this guy can be a top corner in this league paired with Quinyon Mitchell. Now I'm assuming this trade, he's going to be in that battle. So now you add another guy. So you got Keely Ringo, Adoree Jackson. Now you have Jakorian Bennett and Eli Ricks. Those guys will be in the battle. And what I like about them is their age. They all young besides Adoree Jackson. They all young and promising. Now, this is a guy you get to push Keely Ringo. This is real competition. Not just competition for this year, but for the foreseeable future. Because if Jakorian Bennett beat out Keely Ringo won't be an Eagle for too long. Why would we keep Keely Ringo around? Now, he's going to be a really good gunner, but if Keely Ringo ever wants to play like outside corner, it won't work. Whereas though if Adoree Jackson would have beat him out, maybe Adoree play for a year, maybe we try Keely Ringo again. But Jakorian Bennett is 24. He's young. He's young and promising. Now, I heard from Raider fans like, yeah, with Pete Carroll's system, we probably wouldn't work. But with it, Fangio's system, with that zone, he'll work. He'll definitely work. Again, the positives about this guy is it's through the roof. It's through the roof, man. Again, let me just repeat it for y'all. Fast. Keep up with any receiver. The stats are really good. Actually, let me go over some stats. Jakorian Bennett, like he's top 10, top 5, and things we love and positive things. So Jakorian Bennett ranks amongst NFL cornerbacks with 450 plus snaps, 18 receptions allowed, which is third, 37 targets, which is 10th, 176 yards allowed, which is second. He had not allowed no touchdowns, 9 PBUs, and a QBR of 62.4. Now, Twitter is blowing up, like outside of the Raiders and the Eagles fans. A lot of people saying like, yo, why did the Raiders just give away a young, promising corner? I don't know, but this is how we do. This is what the Eagles do. We develop the Thomas Bookers, like Gabe Halls and these backup guys. We really develop these guys. And what happens is they become trade bait. We trade bait these guys, especially in positions we deep at, and then we could pull something like this. Now, I do feel bad for Keely Ringo. I really do. But it's just not working out. Adoree Jackson, we seen when Vic Fangio scolded him. Eli Rich, they like him, but they like, before we pull that trigger and let Eli Rich beat both our guys out, let's bring in somebody else. Let's bring in somebody that can, push these guys. And we'll see, man. This dude is talented. He's talented. He ain't going to go out without a fight. Yeah, he going to sit, learn the playbook a little bit. But him and Quinyon can be dangerous. Him and Quinyon can definitely be dangerous. But again, just the technical stuff. Just the technical stuff. And to me, the size is okay. But I get why some Eagle fans will be alarmed by that lean, slimmer size, because you could get hurt. You could get hurt. But I always look at cornerbacks. Again, you don't have to be big like no linebacker or stout like a safety. You could be lean and still be promising in this league. So what I have to say is, Keely, step it up. Adoree Jackson, if you want that spot, you got to step it up. Eli Rich, preseason August 7th. Show what you got. This guy coming into the building right now want y'all spot. He want y'all spot, man. So Jakorian Bennett, welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. I think you got a future. I think you have a future, but you got some competition in the building. Let's see if you could beat these dudes out. The other dudes, let's see if y'all could beat him out. Because what Howie and Vic Fangio just said, like, nah, the cornerbacks on our team, they're not really it. Let's bring in competition and see what happens. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel? Should we trade it somebody else? Nah, I think Thomas Booker was appropriate because of so many defensive tackles we have. The cornerback position, how y'all feel about that? Is it real competition? Do y'all believe in Jakorian Bennett? Let me know in the comments. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.